You're going to be rewarded for it. So here, so there's three phases of this: cellular, CEA, and down here is what we call accelerator. I have a farm. My farm is right here. It was listed in New Zealand, in the Netherlands, as a accelerator. It's called Continue to Farm. I spell it a little bit different. CON102 farm.com. It's an L3C, which means that it's a social enterprise. I didn't set it up that way to make a lot of money, but to create impact. So as you think about your business, you don't have to incorporate. You can become a social enterprise. You can attract capital because you're basically feeding the world, you're feeding your community, and you're creating impact. You're hiring people out of the community, you're teaching the next generation, and you're growing nutritious foods, right? So this slide here is like, this is the bomb right here. For the 21st century farmers, those are the three areas that just let that sink in. Cellular, controlled environmental farming, and then down here the accelerator. Because once you get into the accelerator market, that's where you start to attract all of the big corporations to invest in your company. They will be buying the food from you, right? These are the people down here that are innovators like yourself. So if you're thinking about you want to be a 21st century farmer, just know that the pathway has been cleared, and it's much easier than when I grew up on the farm, where I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, feed the chicken, feed the cattle, feed the hogs, catch the school bus, come back home. That's if I caught the bus. I might have to work all day. But you don't have to worry about that no more. Here, you go into your greenhouse, it'll probably take you about, let's just say you had 10,000 square feet, a building as big as this one. It may take you maybe an hour and a half to go through. You're done for the day, unless you're harvesting. Now you're going to employ people to harvest, right? So they're going to come in and harvest and package everything, practice your food standards, and they'll be gone, say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But you as the owner of the farm, 2-hour minimum, daily. 7 days a week, but hey, it doesn't matter. Like I said, you get up and go to church, you can go check on your farm before you go to church, and after that, you're on about your day. No worries, because everything's on your phone. You control your nutrients, you can control your watering, you control the temperature inside of it, your greenhouse. So there's no excuse for you to fail because you got everything right there, right? And you could be in, let's just say you wanted to take a trip over to Malawi, Kenya. Your farm is here. Well, you can still operate it off of your iPhone, right? No problem. You got workers back there, so if anything need to be tinkered with, you can do that, right? Okay, so let's see. You had a question? Go ahead.
You did mention of using bamboo as a media to grow plants.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking, you said something like you have to create a hole so that you can look to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, when you create the hole and we are able to look to, like you said, you supply with water.
Yes.
So when you put the water in, the water will drain away.
Yes.
Like when you look at that. So the question I'm asking, like you have to, cover the end of it so that when you fill it with the water will not drain away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So In using bamboo, his question was around, recirculating the water. So what you do is you have a little a drain, because you're going to create a drip system that continuously waters your plant. So water will flow through the bamboo throughout the day. At the end, all of that water goes into a reservoir, right? And then we're going to recirculate it over and over and over again, all day long, all night. That's the magic to it. So you could use bamboo, or you could use, let's see, you see the rain gutters on the homes where the rain comes on the roof and it drains off on the side? Well, you could use those same gutters just like bamboo. Same thing, right? So you don't have to worry about that. It's all controlled. Here's something, this is brand new. It has not been proven, but we only did it for 60 days. So this is moringa. This is all PVC pipe, real cheap, right? It's all buried in the ground on gravel. Now look at that. It's a nursery. So this is a way to grow moringa really fast, 15, 45 days, start a nursery business, right? 15, 45 days. These trees right now could be sold for $20 a piece. Multiply that times 5,000. Look at all that revenue you're making every month, right? It's like crazy. So the idea here is, what you don't see in this picture is okay, so this is 40 days from seed, right? Now, over here, you can't see this, but there's 2 fish ponds there. This is out on a fish farm as a project that we did. So what we did is we drained the water from the fish pond back out over here. We cleaned it up, and then we pumped it into these, what we call bowel columns. And each one of the bowel columns has a long sock. It's like a sock you have on. That's where we put the media in, just a bunch of gravel with a seed, and we pumped the water up. We missed it. Psst, just spray the roots of the plants, because the moringa has a tap root, which gets really long, right? And all you have to do is provide the nutrients to the plants, and this is how you get that growth. So this tree right here, 35, 40 bucks at 40 days, right? Now the other thing is, this is probably where your moringa has a higher protein quality. So if you're just going to grow it for at this height, you got a choice. You could either harvest it, the fresh leaves, or you could have a nursery business. So it's $15 days to 40 days. You got money coming in. Farmer, old-fashioned farming, 20th century, no. This is all about revenue generation, right? You have fat pockets. You don't have to worry about all that overhead expenses, like say my grandfather did. Now you can get paid just on a month-to-month basis or every 2 weeks. And the one thing I will say is, you want to be able to set yourself up in a way where you got constant revenue flowing just like the water inside of your greenhouse, right?
Yeah, well, with this type of like when the sprouting of the germination period, from the time you put the seed in the media, like for how long will it sprout or germinating?
How long would the media last? Or, well,
I mean, when you use the media, the one you're talking about, when you use that one to grow the plant, like what would be the germination period or the sprouting period from the time you put the seed?
Oh, about 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
And,
So
and you start harvesting it for maybe for 40 days.
40 days.
So, all right.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, his question was around germination and harvesting after you plant your seed. So you're not using soil, you're using like coconut core, lava rock, or stuff like that, right? And it's not that expensive. So once you have it in your media inside of your gutter or your bamboo, you just pull it out, harvest it, and then you clean it out. You'd have to swab because there's a lot of roots. You don't want to clog your system up, right? So you just swab it out, and there's a way that you can have your bamboo set up where it's really coarse inside. There's no material that's loose that'll help clog up your system, and you're ready to grow. So this one is called the backyard bioponics, okay? Now this is a typical fish tank, but we don't have any fish in here. We're using fish waste. So here is the system whereby, this is all new innovation, right? But we got peppers, we got tomatoes growing here. And it's cheap PVC piping, right? Innovation. Now, if you wanted to take this out, so we got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If you want to make 50, over here, you just add it on and take it as far as you want, right? Now, see right here? That's a 100-watt solar panel. You're not using any, you're off grid. So, where's your cost at? Just your own labor, that's it, right? So, yeah, this is called bioponics, and this is in a home in Los Angeles in the backyard. So, we're growing tomatoes, peppers. I mean, you don't necessarily want to use viney crops, but right here, see the red? That's where your media just hangs down in there suspended, right? Your seeds. And same thing as I shared with you earlier, we got a pump and a timer here. You got your pump, you got your timer. So every 45 minutes, you got automatic